Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be solving the 11th question on the topic arrays, and the question is Pascal's triangle. Okay, so this is a bit harder question as compared to others, but if you understand the logic it will be easier. Okay, so let's get started with it. What is the Pascal's triangle basically? Pascal's triangle is defined as this one. Okay, so one thing observe here, each of the first element and the last element all are 1. Okay, that's the first point. The first and the last element is 1. Okay, the second point is that how you will find out the remaining elements. Okay, so the first element is 1, so it will be 1 only. Here two elements are there, first and last, 1, same. And coming to this one here, this means row. How we will get, this is row number 1, row number 2, row number 3. How we will get row number 3? The index values for this one is 0 and 1. Okay, if we consider this as an array, this is the 0th index, this is the first index. So in here what we need is 3 values, where all we need in 0th, first and second index. So this is nothing but the first value, this nothing but the last value. Both will be 1, we just need this value. This value is nothing but this plus this. This plus this means this is what? Index 0 of previous value means previous 0 value plus previous 1 value plus previous 1 value. If you do that, which element we are getting? We are getting the element number 1 at index 1 for the new array. For new 1 location we need 1 minus 1 and 1. So instead of 1, if I take as n minus 1 of previous one plus n of previous one, n minus 1 of previous one plus previous n value, this will yield me the value of new's n value. Okay, so if you can consider an example here, consider this one here. What are the index values here? The index values for these ones are nothing but let me change the color here. This is the index value 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and index values for this one is, okay, index values for this one is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, these are the two index values. Now this is the first one, this will easily get 1, this also will get as 1, only these two we have to get. How we will get these two? What is this one? This is the new, and what is the index value? 1. New of 1 is nothing but p of 1 minus 1 plus p of 1. What is p of 1 minus 1 means? P of 0. P of 0 means this value, okay, plus p of 1, this value. Add up these both, you will get this value, 2 plus 1. Same thing goes for this one also. Here what is the value of n? It is 2. N of 2, that is nothing but p of 2 minus 1 plus p of 2. Yeah, so p of 2 minus 1 is p of 1, p of 1 is nothing but this value, it is 2. So 2 plus, what is this value? P of 2, it is nothing but 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, that we are storing here. Okay, so that's what it's happening. Here also the same thing is happening. The previous n minus 1 value, okay, n minus 1 value plus previous n value, that will be the new's n value. That's all we have to keep on doing till the end. First and the last is already initialized as 1. So let's see the code part here, and how you will be doing is, firstly we will be creating a, see, at last we have to return a 2D array. 2D array means in that what will happen, how we will return this triangle? That's also one question, right? So in this triangle, each of this is considered as one array. So how many arrays are there in this triangle? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 arrays are there. So 5 arrays will be written in a big array. So here array number 1, array number 2, array number 3, array number 4, array number 5, like that, comma separated. And each array value will be like 1, 1 comma 1, okay, 1 2 1, 1 comma 2 comma 1, like that. Each of these values will be like that, okay, and this will be written in a bigger array. So the return value will be like this. This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row and fifth row. That will be written in a bigger array, okay, array of arrays. So to get a new array, we will be first initializing an empty array, then we will be finding out the elements here, inserting those elements and entering this whole array into a bigger array. This will be entered in the this for the first one, this will be entered here, first array A1, then in A2 what will be entered? This one will be entered in A2. In A3 what will be entered? Another new array will be created, empty array. The elements will be found by calculation values, that will be inserted here, and then this value will be inserted for A3. Like that till A5 we will go, and the whole array, this whole will be considered as one array, that will be returning. Okay, that are steps. If you did not get, you can play back and watch the explanation again. Okay, so now I'll be moving on to the code part. So let's see what is the code part. So in the code part, what we have is these things. Okay, so let me take you through the code part here. The code part is divided into 4 parts here, but if you understand, it's very simple. Okay, so let's see the first part here. In the first part, okay, before that we are returning a 2D array. So 2D array is initialized as follows. First is list of integer. List of integer is an array, and those arrays list means array of array that is getting returned, and array is of the type integer. So this is the return value, this is the name of the function, and the argument is this one. Num rows means number of rows, means if they ask 5, we have to return 5 values, right? So like if they ask 5, we have to return 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 arrays we have to return in a single array. Like that, that num row specifies nothing but number of rows which is to be returned. If that is 6, we have to return another array along with this one. Okay, so that's what it specifies, the number of rows. So that is the num rows, and we have understood this line here. Next line is we are initializing two things. This is the result array. Result array is the 2D array where we will store all the different arrays here, a1, a2, a3 till a5. That whole thing will be stored in this array, result array. Okay, so this is the syntax to create result array, and this is each row. For each row we are making a new array and storing it. So that is for the each row we are making that array here, and previous array is also initialized. Okay, means we need 2 rows, right, to consider the previous row and make the new row, and for that previous and row, 2 things we have needed. That's the first part of the code. Okay, moving on to the second part of the code, we have a for loop here. Okay, so this is the basically the for loop which is running from 0 till num rows. So in this for loop, what is the main target is that for each iteration I will get a new row. 0th iteration I will get 0th row, for the first iteration first row, second iteration second row. For each row when I will get, what I will do, I will add it to the this one. Okay, so the scope of this one is till here. Okay, this it runs from here till here. Okay, sorry, not here till here, actually it runs till here. Okay, so this part will calculate the new row. Okay, this part will calculate new row, and then that will be stored in the previous one, as well as it will be appended to the result array. In the result array, a1 will be created till here, and then a1 will be appended by using this line here. So a1 is getting initialized in this part of the code. Let's see what's happening. The first line of the code, row is equal to new array list. A new row is created here. In that we have to assign the elements here. Now for assigning elements, I am using another for loop here. In this for loop we have 2 things here, if and else condition. Okay, so for each value from 0 to I, if I value is 0, that means it will run one time only, and if j is equal to 0 or j is equal to I, 0 means the 0th location, I is the last location, means in this row, if it is a 0th row, it will be having it will be having one element, but 0 is equal to 0 means one time it will run for that one row. For the second, it will run 2 times, 2 elements are there. For the third row, it will run 3 times, fourth row 4 times. If you see in the question also, how many, the number of row which is being considered, that many times it will be running. This is the first iteration, one time it will run. Second iteration 2 elements, third iteration 3 elements, fourth, fifth. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So for that, j will be running from 0 till I. I is the number of row, means the iteration which row I am. Okay, so for the first one it will run just one time, so for only the 0 value it will run, and if j is 0 or I, 0 means the first number, I is the last number. Any case, row dot add 1. Row dot add 1 means this is row, it will add 1 to it. Element will be added to this one, 1. Finish. One time it will run, j plus plus, it will become 2. 2 is less than means more than 1, so it will not run again, only one time it will run. After this gets over, it will come back, initialize pre as row. Row is initialized here, it's nothing but it just has one value, 1. This is the row value, and pre will become equal to row. So pre will also have this same value. Now 2 things have same value, row and pre both have 1 value, and row will be added to the result array. So this is the result array, and 1 will be added here like this. Okay, 1 will be added here. Next you have to add the further arrays in the next iterations. So this was for the first iteration. Pre is equal to the first whatever we got here. Row is also same. Row is added to the result array. Now we need 4 more arrays here. Okay. In then moving on to the next iteration, we'll have I value is equal to 1. So j will be starting from here 0. Before that, we will initialize a fresh new array here, which will be empty. J is 0, j is less than equal to 1. So 2 times it will run, one for 0, another for 1, because we need 2 elements, right? So 2 elements we need. If it is 0, means j is 0, means it will add 1 here, and then it will means this for loop scope is this much only. Okay, I forgot to add the braces, but still it will work. But for your understanding, it is having scope till here only. Okay, now what's happening? J is 0, so 1 will be added here. Next iteration, j will be 1, j is equal to I, 1 will be added here. Since 2 elements, first and the last element should be 1 only always, so 1 1 is added here. That 1 1 is nothing but row. Row is initialized, make it as pre will be equal to this row value, and then append the row to the index. So means the result array. Now we have two arrays. From the first iteration 1 is there, from the second iteration 1 comma 1 is there. Like that we will do for the remaining iteration also. Let's see for one more one, and then I will skip the next one. Okay, so I will become 2 now. It will run for 3 times, initialize a fresh new row is here, and it will run 3 times. J is 0, firstly it will be 1, again it will come, j is 1. So neither of this case satisfy. So neither of this case satisfy means it will come to else part here. Let's understand what is else part here. This is my row here, current row. Row is nothing but 1, and 2 spaces are left here. Row dot add, what I am adding? Pre dot get j minus 1 plus pre dot get j. J is nothing but 1. So what will be the value of j minus 1? It will be 0. So pre of 0 plus pre of j. J is nothing but 1. Pre of 0 plus pre of 1, that should be added to row of 1. Here what will be added? Previous. What was previous value? 1 comma 1, right? So this was the previous value, and index value is 0 and 1. Pre of 0 is nothing but 1. So 1 plus, and pre of 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 will be added to the row of 1. Okay, row of 1. That's what I said. If you want row of 1, previous of 1 minus 1 plus previous of 1. Add both and add here. Then that will be over. 1 2 is there. It will come back here. J will be 2. J is equal to I. It will run here. J is equal to I. It will add 1 here. So it will be 1. So 1 to 1 is here. This will be added to the result array. So result array was this one. It had 2 arrays here initially. The third array will also be added here. Okay. So that's what we will be doing for the each iteration. And after this loop gets over here, what we'll have in result array is 5 arrays, right? That 5 arrays will be returned as result here. Okay. So this one was basically the approach and the code, and if you felt any doubt here, you can always replay and watch the explanation again. And for quick wrap up, what will happen is firstly we will be initializing 2 things. Result array for storing all the arrays which you get here as rows. All the rows should be stored in a single array and return. For that we are creating a 2D array. Then for getting each row here, we are creating row array, and for referring the previous row in the next iteration, we are creating a previous array also. Now these things are clear. Coming to the next part here, we are running a for loop here. In each for loop, in each iteration we will get new row here, and to get new row here, we have to add elements. To add elements, we are using another for loop here, and this for loop has if else part. If it's the first element or the last element, add 1, else if it's the middle element, add the previous value plus the same index value. That addition should be stored here. Here also, if your multiple elements are there before the first and the last element, previous value plus same value from the previous row, add it and store here. Same thing for here also, first and the last will be 1. Here this value will be returned n minus 1 1, n minus 1 n, n minus 1 n. All this like that will refer the previous row, previous of j minus 1 plus previous of j. Add it and store it here. Then all the rows will be initialized one by one, and after each of the inner for loop, keep adding to the main array. Main array will have the arrays which you got in the inner loop. It will store all this one by one. After the outer loop gets over, in the array will have all the initial arrays, means which you got in the iteration, and that will be returned. Okay, so that's all in this code. And if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.